A proposed endeavor is a key component in an EB-2 National Interest Waiver case. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions on what the proposed endeavor entails. So a proposed endeavor, there's two different ways it can be viewed. There is a proposed endeavor concept, and then there's your proposed endeavor statement. The main aspect to focus on is the proposed endeavor concept. The reason for this is a proposed endeavor essentially serves as what your plans, what your dreams, what your aspirations are upon entering the United States. So when somebody thinks about a proposed endeavor, the best way to think about it is, if I were to get approved for the EB-2 NIW and I came into the United States, what would you be doing? Now, the proposed endeavor is a bit of a term of art. So a proposed endeavor is not only your dreams and aspirations, but you need to be able to articulate how you're going to take past experience that you have, past credentials, past work that you have done, and how you plan to take that. And the reason for this is a proposed endeavor essentially serves as what your plans, what your dreams, what your aspirations are upon entering the United States. So when somebody thinks about a proposed endeavor, the best way to think about it is, if I were to get approved for the EB-2 NIW and I came into the United States, what would you be doing? Now, the proposed endeavor is a bit of a term of art. So a proposed endeavor is not only your dreams and aspirations, but you need to be transported into the United States into some kind of goal. Now, the goal can be basically anything under the sun, but you need to be coming into the United States to impart some kind of knowledge, a skill set, some kind of work, creating some kind of project that essentially is going to benefit something that is viewed in the national interest. So something that would be in the national importance, let's say societally, or something that would be of interest because a government agency has stated that there is a key need for this kind of skill set. Now, when you think of that, it cannot simply be you're coming into the United States to fulfill a shortage, because USCIS is well aware there are shortages of professionals and professions in the United States. And that shortage is taken into account in the actual labor certification process. So you need to be able to be presenting a plan for what you plan to, some kind of skill, some kind of job, some kind of advancement that you are going to be providing to the United States, that you have the experience and credentials to be able to propel. And it's not only having a plan, you also need to have other factors in play at the time of filing. In this plan, you not only have to have what you intend to do in the United States, but also you need to have clear-cut steps explaining how you plan to develop this endeavor. So do you have a business plan? Have you spoken to other interested parties? Do you have any clients lined up? You need to already have steps that are moving forward that would be able to facilitate you being able to, let's say, enter the United States right now and be able to kick this project off full force. And when you think of the proposed endeavor, it also has to be something that is viewed as having essentially substantial merit and would benefit, again, some population of the United States. For example, you may be wanting to come in and provide a benefit to children in a certain region, or you are bringing in a certain tech skill that you're extremely versed on, and there's a certain industry, there's a certain niche area in some state in the United States that is missing that niche. But you basically need to come up with the plan. That is what the proposed endeavor concept is. Now, the second part of that is not only do you have to have these dreams, aspirations, plans, and goals, but part of the EB-2 NIW petition filing will be articulating that to USCIS in a statement. So that's the second part. That is what's considered the proposed endeavor statement. When it comes time for filing, the attorneys work with you and you prepare a statement that lays out all that information. What your plan is in the United States, why you want to impart this skill set, this talent, this field, why you want to bring this to the United States, what is the United States lacking, or what area is in critical need for the skill set that you're going to be providing. You also need to include the steps that are already underway. Do you have a business plan set up? Have you already looked at areas where your office is going to be? Have you reached out to potential clients that are going to be using your services? Have you spoken to potential employers that may be wanting to provide you employment for you to be able to provide this service? So that is what goes into the proposed endeavor statement. Now, this proposed endeavor concept is the most important part of these petitions. And also it is sometimes the most convoluted one because of the nuances in it. So again, when you're thinking of a proposed endeavor, you need to be presenting to USCIS, essentially stating to them, not only do I have the EB-2 credentials, whether an advanced degree or of exceptional abilities, but you also are going to be providing something to the United States that is of critical importance, of national importance, something that is needed in the United States, a certain area in the United States, and you yourself are so skilled and versed that you can bring over the expertise and experience to be able to further develop that. And all this needs to be in play the moment your petition is approved. So if you only have the plans for what you want to do, but you haven't sorted out how you're going to do it, you don't really know who the clientele are going to be, you're not really sure how you're going to kick this plan off, your case would still be considered premature. Because the way you need to look at it, once your proposed endeavor needs to be so solid, the USCIS would pluck you up right now from your country and plop you in the United States. You could take off running to develop this skill set. So this is where I normally come across. This is the parts that is normally the biggest hurdle for clients. They do have dreams and aspirations, but understandably, because they haven't, they're not in the United States yet. They don't have their status here yet. They're a little bit hesitant to make connections in the United States, to speak to potential clientele, to speak to potential employers, to try to reach out to a customer base. That is normally the biggest pitfall I find. That hesitation, people have not developed that portion of their proposed endeavor yet. And that is extremely critical. The development of this proposed endeavor is one of the key factors that USCIS analyzes when they're assessing this case in full. Because again, if you can have the perfect plan for the United States, you may have all the experience and credentials. There may be a need for your service in some community that without it, they're going to be lacking and they're going to be, basically the population is going to be suffering greatly. But if you don't discuss how exactly detailed you plan to further this plan, the steps you're going to take, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and really, really articulate how this is going to be implemented, the case is still considered premature. So one of the biggest things I tell clients when we discuss EB-2 National Interest Waivers and their proposed endeavor is this proposed endeavor. So if, a tip I always give to people is, if you're not sure what your proposed endeavor is, sit down with a pen and paper, sit down in front of a blank computer screen, and just begin to free write. Think about what your passions are. Think about what really drives you. Think about throughout your whole professional experience or your personal trajectory, what are the factors, what are the skills that you have developed that you've honed in so well and you want to, that you want to replicate in the United States. And then, brainstorm ways that you'd be able to fulfill this. No idea is bad. So in brainstorming, you will be able to unearth the most information of what your true desires are and how to properly develop it.